What's happening, friends? Welcome back to Dynamo DeFi. My name is Patrick, and on this channel I talk about cryptocurrency, decentralized finance, and economics. So if you like those topics, be sure to like this video and subscribe. Today's video is all about Optimism and Ethereum Layer 2 solution. Optimism all but announced recently that they're going to do a token airdrop. So I'll be talking a bit about that, what this could mean for other Layer 2 solutions like Optimism, Arbitrum, and more, and then a few different strategies that you can use to take advantage of this news. Let's get into the video. Cool. So first, what exactly is this news about Optimism? Well, they put out this blog post just 3 days ago, and at the end of the blog post, they said, a new chapter. It's been a wild few years since we started this journey to build the best scalability solution for Ethereum, etc., etc. But then they said, we're nearing the end of this chapter and the beginning of the next, one driven by community ownership and governance. And what does community ownership and governance apply in crypto? It implies a token. So many people are speculating that Optimism is going to airdrop a token to people who have been using the Layer 2 solution. And if you look over at the Optimism total value locked on DeFi Llama, you can see that when they made this announcement, it started to jump up as people bridged to the network in hopes to qualify themselves for the airdrop. And why is this so significant? Well, if you look over at the total value locked on Ethereum, for example, Ethereum is of course the majority of total value locked in the world of DeFi. They have over $100 billion in the network. The two largest Layer 2 solutions are Arbitrum and Optimism, not counting Polygon, which is currently more of a side chain, but is being developed into a Layer 2 solution. We have Arbitrum and Optimism, which are respectively $2.2 billion and $500 million in TVL. So a drop in the bucket compared to Ethereum. And part of the reason why people haven't migrated, many speculate, including me, is because there hasn't been enough of an incentive. But if Arbitrum and Optimism were to have tokens, then you could expect that potentially a lot of TVL would migrate from Ethereum to these Layer 2 solutions. And even if, say, 10% of it did, 20% even, imagine how much these ecosystems are going to explode. I mean, Arbitrum is already big, but if it could grow to 10 billion, that would be a 5x from here. And so that's basically why there is so much hype around this potential Optimism airdrop, and that would make the tokens for Optimism and Arbitrum potentially very valuable. And I will say one caveat to that, this hasn't been officially announced and we don't know what the tokenomics would be, if any. So it's possible that it could just be a governance token, which might make it difficult for it to accrue value. So everything about this token is waiting pending those announcements. But either way, if they do have a token, it could certainly lead to an influx of TVL to Optimism. And then if Arbitrum does a token as well, then it could also lead to an influx of TVL to the Arbitrum Layer 2 solution. And as far as I see it, there's a few different ways that you could play this. First is, since they haven't announced whether they've already taken a snapshot for Optimism, you could bridge over to Optimism now. You can bridge over to Optimism using either the Optimism bridge, app.optimism.io/bridge. Another great bridge is Synapse Protocol. Or and then you can use Optimism and hope that you'll qualify for the airdrop. Another thing that you could do is you could say, well, I don't know if I'm going to qualify for the airdrop, but I'm going to look at the protocols that are already on Optimism. For example, we have ZipSwap, which is a DEX on Optimism. Hot protocol. I'm not sure what that is, but it is the 7th largest protocol on Optimism. You could say, if this were to grow from 500 million to 5 billion, for example, 10x, then probably a lot of these protocols that are built on Optimism are going to gain a lot of TVL and do very well. So that's another angle you could take at it. And another angle is, imagine you only want to invest in the Optimism token, but you miss the airdrop. These types of airdrops typically dump within a few days of launching. They might pump at first, and then often there's a major retrace as people who were given money for free basically start to cash out. So I would wait for that crash personally, and then potentially invest in the token if I wanted to invest in it, but didn't get the airdrop. Not financial advice, but that's just what I would do personally. And the same thing goes for Arbitrum, of course. You could try to bridge over to it, qualify for the airdrop, or you could look at some of the protocols that are built on Arbitrum, like GMX, which I've covered on this channel recently. And Arbitrum, similar to Optimism, has its own bridge, bridged at arbitrum.io. And then Synapse can also be used to bridge over to Arbitrum as well. And that's basically my take on the potential Optimism and Arbitrum airdrops and how you could play them. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Are you interested in Optimism and Arbitrum? Do you think that these ecosystems will do well? And until next time, this is Dynamo DeFi.